Hey internet, so this is one of my more requested videos because I know a lot of you are ladies who like makeup like I do and are looking for a more professional put together look. And I know right now 90s makeup is a huge trend and I'm kind of loving it because it's also the way I've been doing my makeup pretty much since I've been working. Even when I was in college, I've always loved a really matte, soft, velvety look to the eyes and face. That's very sort of put together. It's a little bit retro with a little winged out eyeliner and then a very sort of your lips but better lip, and I find that term so tiring, but basically it's just the idea that you're trying to enhance what you already have. I'm excited to share with you lots of little tips to look more professional, more put together and awake, especially under bright strobe lighting like you have in the office, which is very green toned, it's very unflattering, and it makes sort of imperfections in your makeup and skin just look that much more awful. And so over the years I've really tailored my makeup look to that environment, but I think it is just really a pretty makeup look as well for the holidays and just every day. It's basically what I wear every day, and I am just so excited to finally share that with you guys because I know a lot of you have requested it over the years. Just get right into this good old-fashioned makeup tutorial. Right now I'm actually using a combination of under eye concealers. The first one I use is actually a treatment concealer, which is very light, and this is from La Prairie, and it's actually really nice because it just kind of illuminates any under eye circles or darkness that you might have. So I just sort of do a C shape going from the corner inwards. I know Maybelline has their take on this, and it's also very, very similar to the YSL Touche Éclat that everybody likes, but I think it's a little bit better and actually about the same price. Then I go in with another concealer that has a little bit more coverage, and this is one of my all-time favorites. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and this is a bit more of like a salmon-y color. It has more color to it, so it's going to give me a lot more coverage, and I apply that a little bit lower in that triangle shape. That really works well for concealer, and I don't go as high up with it because I've noticed that if I apply this one too high up, it actually creases a little bit, which I really hate. Then when I'm done with my concealer, I go in with my foundation. This is my second favorite foundation of all time. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour Foundation. It's a really lovely medium coverage foundation. My all-time favorite foundation is the YSL Youth Liberator Serum Foundation, which in my opinion holds up a little bit better throughout the day than the Tarte one. This one honestly looks flawless even 12 hours later, and I really like that it's also a treatment, so I feel like I'm doing something really good for my skin while I have it on for long work days. However, I ran out of this and I don't really want to repurchase it until Vlogmas in Hawaii because it's really expensive here, and it's a little bit less expensive in the States, so that is my grand plan. So today we'll be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay one, and I really like having a tube of this one at all times because it's just much lighter packaging and it just works really well. I think the amount is under yeah, it's under the 100 milliliters that you're allowed to have for travel, so it's really great to put in those Ziploc bags. And you can see basically I'm not even looking in a mirror right now because my favorite way of applying foundation, and part of why I'm such a difficult customer for it, is I personally think you should not have to spend an hour blending it in with special tools. I really like just using my fingers. I think clean fingers are the best thing for my skin because I can make sure there's no like makeup accumulation on them, and I feel like I just get a really nice smooth coverage. My Laura Mercier mineral powder, and this is the color Tender Rose, and I'm loving this powder so much. It really gives you a non-powdery look, which I think is really key, especially under unflattering lights. It's not really terribly shimmery or anything like that. It just really blends perfectly with whatever foundation you want to use. and I would say I repowder this about once a day just with my Chanel pressed powder. The next step is bronzer, and I like to apply my bronzer in the winter with a stippling brush because I find that that gives me a very sparse, natural looking application that isn't too much. I do like to wear a little bit of bronzer during the winter, and this is the new one that I picked up in my Sephora haul again, and it is from Becca, and this is the Shadow and Light Bronze Contour Perfector. So the aim for it is actually for you to use the darker shade as a contour and the lighter shade as a bronzer, but what I tend to do for every day is I just tap my brush right into it and just use both together blended. I find that it doesn't pull orange at all, it doesn't oxidize, it's not streaky looking, it just really is a great bronzer. And make sure you apply that down onto your neck. And basically I apply this on most of the contour spots, but in a very sort of loose, blended way. So under my jaw, around my cheekbones, sort of warm them up, a little hint on my nose, and then right up at my forehead. This is my ambient palette from Hourglass, which I do really love. And it's funny because when I bought it, I thought it would be this color that would be my favorite, which is the mauve one. But actually, I've been loving the way the pink one and the coral one look mixed together. And I apply that on the outside of my cheekbones and blend it kind of upwards because you want some up here so that it can catch the light since it is an illuminating blush. And I wipe away all that excess foundation from my eyebrows because it really is pretty impossible to apply your foundation without getting any there. My favorite primer for eyeshadow of all time is the NARS one. It really does keep your eye makeup on like basically forever until you decide to remove it. You don't need a lot, just a little streak in the crease of each eye. This is from my Tom Ford haul. You can see it's been a lot more loved now and the colors have gotten a little bit more like polluted from each other, but it is still just such a gorgeous palette. This is my Tom Ford Cocoa Mirage eye palette. It is very pricey. You can definitely replace this with colors from MAC, and I'll give you dupes down below in case you want to kind of make your own MAC quad that looks like this. So I'm just going to put the light one where it would classically go underneath my eyebrows. And then I go in with my next color, which is going to be the dark shimmery brown. This is the only non-matte in the palette. Very similar to MAC's Mulch. I apply it on the outer sort of third of my eyes, just like that. Go in with the sort of crease blending color right here. And I place that right in the middle of the eyelid. Because when you blink and you look down, instead of having like a bright color or any shimmer, it's just going to look like skin, and it'll fool people into thinking you're wearing a lot less makeup than you actually are. Then I'm going to take a good crease brush. This is the Sonia Kashuk one in number 109. It's from Target. I really like those brushes. And I'm going to go in with the darkest shade. I'm just going to swirl that in a little circle at the outer eye corner, and I'm just going to blend it lightly through the crease. Everything looks good, but a little bit more, you know, sort of makeup-y than I would like, so I go back in with my blending shade, just a little bit of that on the brush, and right at your brow bone where your crease finishes, you want to do a little bit of blending. And then what I'd like to do if I want a little bit more sort of brightness to my eyes is I take one more eyeshadow. This is the one that I sort of add to that quad. And this is the Stila Kitten eyeshadow, which is basically their most famous product because it is a shimmer, but it's got no glitter to it. It's so finely milled. Tiny bit to the inner eye corner. So I like a good strong brow, and I can definitely pull it off because I have very dark hair. You can see like my eyebrows are actually pretty sparse. I don't love the way they sort of don't have very many hairs out here, and they definitely need some help. So I like to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and this is the color Soft Brown. And you can go as thick or as thin as you like. And you really don't want to put too much on the inner eye corners, but you don't want to put none either because then it will look different than the outside in terms of color. but I do like to set it with eyebrow gel, and this is the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Granite, which again is more of like a gray ashy undertone. I hate it when eyebrow gel is like red and it's got sparkles in it. I feel like it looks so unnatural. I use this crappy little curler from Sephora, which is made of plastic, but I really like the look that it gives you guys. It just is really easy to get in there super close, as opposed to the usual kind of pincer style ones, which you have much further away from your eyes. I find I can get like all of the eyelashes into this one. I'll go in with my favorite eyeliner, liquid eyeliner of all time. I cannot leave the house without wing liner, you guys. I'm basically addicted, and it's almost like I wish I could go back and change that, but I also don't, because I just love the way it looks so much. I definitely like a little bit of a retro look for the office. I think it's very ladylike, it's very put together, and if you practice enough, it honestly, like, I could do this in a moving car. The DollyWinks one, which you can get from any Asian beauty supply store or online, I'll link it below, is really good because it's black, it's not shiny, it doesn't flake. A good rule of thumb is like basically you're trying to create the effect of very long eyelashes. So if your eyelashes are shorter than your wing, you know you're doing it too long. And honestly, you guys, I've tried so many high-end mascaras because I love the sort of luxurious packaging of them, but this is my favorite that I've tried from the drugstore. It's the Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express. So you want to put on a good 2 coats of that because just done lashes look so lovely on you. And you could basically just walk out of the house like this. You know, you don't need lipstick to go to the office. You can put that on later. So this is really what I consider to be my done face, but we're going to do a few more little things that really take it to that next level of just looking really pretty and flattering. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. You can see it's this big tube and it sort of gives you way too much product, so I usually just tap my finger around the excess from the day before. I think that's safe because it's got a good cap on it, so I don't feel like that product is getting too old to put on my face. And you really need so little, and you can already see it's catching the light on camera. This looks so pretty on your cheekbones. And then if you want a really nice done lip and you're not going to eat after, I usually will do my lips after I've had my breakfast, just because I don't like doing it twice. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to get that 90s lip look, which is very sort of velvety. It's very flattering. It does make your lips look very full and lovely, but it's not going to make you look like a fish. And this is in the color 2C, which is a great kind of browny, natural looking mid-tone. It looks very natural. And what you want to do is just line around your lips, and don't go like crazy outside of it. Just catch like where the lip skin ends and meets your face skin. So that's how it looks with just the lip liner, and that lip liner is really good. It's actually like comfortable enough, like it has a very slight sort of stick to it, but it's not like sticky lip gloss. It's very comfortable and you could wear it easily on its own, or I would recommend topping it with a lip balm, and that would give you the most sort of natural lip look. If you wanted to look like you weren't really wearing anything on your lips, that would be a really good sort of technique. But we're going for a little bit more of a done look today, so I'm going to be using my Tom Ford No. 30 Negligee lipstick, which is pretty much the same color. You look very professional, very ladylike, still feminine, all of those good things that I really like as part of my sort of professional aesthetic, and what I like to sort of look like and feel like, and it just makes me feel like I'm starting the day off right whenever I put on this makeup. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about professional style and other fun videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.